Good morning and welcome to Master's Class. I'm Dr. Salvatore Sandone, founder of Zhang Sah, and this is our Wednesday morning class. We're doing these broadcasts live for free for our members and for the general good, so that you may, if you have an interest in martial arts or in local martial art people, that you may have an interest in what we're doing. And we're a nonprofit organization in the city of Philadelphia that brings together martial arts and education. We're currently closed by the governor's mandate to protect the public health, practicing social distancing, and this is an opportunity for us to share some insights with you. So, again, this is a free live broadcast, and we are conducting a fundraiser. We're hoping that you may decide to support us and the work that we do. Today's topic is an extension of yesterday's lesson, Yesterday's topic was basically, why should martial artists need to know karate kata? And I think it's especially poignant for those that are in the grappling arts or in non-striking arts like Aikido, Judo, or Jiu-Jitsu. So yesterday I talked about a historian and one of his books called The Three Bluto Masters, and in that book I kind of pointed to how the founder of contemporary karate, Master Gishin Funakoshi, kind of had some interactions with the founder of Judo, Dr. Jigoro Kano, and where that intersection occurred, and potentially why that intersection occurred. And so I'm going to focus on the school that Funakoshi founded, which is Shotokan, and I have with me his master text, and he calls his master text Karate Do Kyohan. So, just for yucks, it's not karate, it's not one word, it's karate, well, do is the third word, so karate do. So, just want to focus on this book. It's a good read, by the way. If you ever, you probably pick it up online or something like that. But if you have an interest in martial art, you should always read books written by the martial art masters. Contemporary masters are good, but the older the better. And I think that is often the case because what you're working with today is based on something that was synthesized in the past. So you're continually working with a new level of efficacy in your practice, because that's kind of like what time demands. So Funakoshi was a student of a master, and tomorrow morning I'll talk about his teachers, and I have a book that kind of brings that all together for you in full circle. But in the Shotokan, the first series of kata that you learn are called Taikyoku. And Taikyoku is a series of 3 kata, and they are basic. It is not designed to make you a proficient karate practitioner. They're designed to give you capacities and a basic skill set for movement so that you can move with power, and you understand basically lines of movement as well, and that's important. Kata is a aesthetic, meaning a visual, a beautified interpretation of a bunch of moves. And each of these moves, when you pull the kata apart into all its little particles, each one of these is its own thing. And that's the beauty of kata. So kata is almost like a package, if you will. Somebody took a package, sent it across time, like from teacher to student, and they say, hey, open this package. Well, the thing about kata is you really don't know how to open the package initially, so what you got to do is you kind of play with it, right? You kind of rub the edges. You kind of like look at the bow or how it's labeled, and spin it around, turn it upside down, before you even know how to open it, and then even before you can see what's in the box, before you know how to play with what's in the box. And there lies the beauty of learning karate. And that is probably a really good analogy for what it's like to learn an art like karate. I think popular opinion today was like, this box is worthless. We can't fight with this box. Just teach me how to throw 4 punches, a couple kicks, take them to the ground, pound them out, choke their lights out. But the truth is, there's so many more ways to do this. Easier ways, more interesting ways, more lethal ways than that if you take the time to learn how to open the box. By the way, one, if you're watching this, can you please like it so we can A, say thank you, and B, know who's watching? Because as these, I think this is going to be at least maybe a month where we'll be doing these shows. We'd like to know like what your thoughts are. If there's a topic that we can talk about it that's of interest to you, we'd like to hear from you. If you like the show, we'd like to hear from you. If you think there's a way we can improve it, we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to hear from you. So anyway, so back to opening up this package. When you open it up and you have the techniques that are inside it, that's what we call bunkai. And this is not limited to karate. It's limited. It's all martial art forms have within them these applications, right? And the applications, some of them are really simple, and simple is the most effective. Some of them have been around for so long because they're just that effective. And there's no reason to reinvent the wheel when somebody made a really good wheel. And that's why I say it's good to learn from the older masters, right? Side note, it's raining, and I have a book, but I got it wrapped up in a towel so it doesn't get messed up. It's a good book, and I want to protect it. But I also suggest if you have a chance to be outside while you're with me, do it. If you have a porch, a backyard, an alleyway, a deck, just make sure that you are in an open, clear span space so you don't break anything, you don't get hurt. Make sure that you're in well enough health so that you can do this safely. So I'm going to read you a small excerpt out of this text, and then I'm going to introduce to you the Teikyoku Shodan, which is the first of Funakoshi's forms. What you'll note is that if you watched yesterday when I taught you, the basic stances, some of these basic stances are used in this kata. Not all of them. Actually, in the first form, I think we'll use 3 of them. And that's part of the process of learning karate, which is learning how to develop the capacity to move with strength and power and balance, and how to transition from one movement to another without compromising that. So, Kyohan. So, this is page 33. On page 33, he shows you some highlights of the different kata that are in the school. The Teikyoku, the Heian, which we'll talk about tomorrow, Asai, Honku, Teki, Hangetsu, Jute, Empi, Gangaku, Jion. And then he talks about something called Tendo Kata, which is cooperational practice, which is what you do if you have a partner. And we're not going to do that because we're in isolation. Hence, that's why we're talking about solo martial art practice. Kata is the king of solo martial art practice. And by the way, I don't mean to say that to take away from Hyung, Pum, or any other form. If you have a solo practice form that is of a system that you aspire to practice, it's a good one. It just without having to say. All right, so Teikyoku. This is in fact 3 kata, numbered Shodan, Nidan, Sandan. Shodan is 1, Nidan is 2, Samdan is 3. Since this form is the easiest of the kata to learn and consists of those blocks and attacks that are the most helpful in practicing basic techniques, it should be the form for which the beginners start. And that's the sequencing. This kata and the Tendo kata to be described below are the product of my many years of research and experience in the art of karate. If they are practiced regularly, they will result in even development of the body and in a sound ability to bear the body correctly. So, again, that's a critical issue. Developing the body evenly is critically important. You can't practice to fight left-sided or right-sided and have a good physiology, and that affects your brain. When you work with your right hand, we know from popular research today that you're using the opposite side of your body. When you work with your left hand, you're working the opposite side of your body. That is important. He knew this over 100 years ago, hence you should practice his kata for physical development. Moreover, the student who has gained proficiency in basic techniques and understands the essence of Teikyoku kata will appreciate the real meaning of the maxim, in karate, there is no advantage in the first attack. And that is true. And it is for this reason that I have given them the name Teikyoku. Okay, so hope that's just well with you. Again, Karate Do, Kyohan. You want to learn about it? Get it. Read it. I've often heard you cannot learn martial arts from a book. That is entirely true. But what they forgot to mention to you was that you can learn about a lot of what you learned in the dojo by reading a book about it after somebody taught it to you. Hey, that's why there's books. Read them. It's totally awesome. All right, so let's get to Teikyoku, and let me move in between the raindrops, see how it goes. All right, I have to move this camera over here. Uh-oh. Oh, don't fall down, that's the problem. You know, no makeup, no lighting, no camera people. It's not easy. Pat Bones, I see that you're watching. I love you. I miss you so much. He used to choke the crap out of me when I was learning judo as a underling. I don't know, it had to be almost 15 years ago now. I hope you're hanging in there, buddy. Anyway, let's do Teikyoku Kata. Alright, let me change the angle just a little bit so you can see the feet, because the feet are part of the lesson. Not yet. One more time. Hopefully three's the charm. Alright, that's as good as it's going to get. Alright, first position is the attention stance like we talked about yesterday. Body's on column, hands on your thighs. Again, it's always polite to bow. An active deference is important. We'll talk about bowing in one of our lessons coming up. I'm going to shift a little bit so you have enough space. So from here, we're going to do the natural stance. The natural stance, and make our fists in front. We should also at one point talk about making proper fists. I have a notification that I should not be getting. There it goes. So once in the natural stance, you're signaling that you're prepared. Form is going to start to my left. Again, teaching martial art from a defensive perspective. I'm going to look to the left. First move is a low block. For the low block, I sweep past my face. I step into that front stance we talked about yesterday, and I pull them apart, sweeping low. And we're going to talk about this specific technique in a second. From here, second move is you step and punch. Symmetrical practice. We're going to turn to the opposite side. Everything that you do is done on the left and done on the right. And then the third one has a key. Don't be scared. And you yell. And what I practice on the left, you practice on the right. Neighbors are probably like, what's going on? And that's your basic Teikyoku form. Now, just want to come in closer with you here. What's important is the stance work and learning how to transition your body weight from front stance to front stance, how to turn in a front stance. Remember yesterday we talked about front stance is helping you develop power moving in a forward way, right? So that helps with any lunging motions. The second thing I want to talk about is the low block. Martial arts are not archaic. They're not meaningless. That technique isn't against this. What do you do if someone tries to kick you between the legs? Is that the most common attack? It is not the most common attack. The most common attack is a punch in the face. It's been like that for as long as mankind's been around, right? So, why would you think a martial art teacher is going to teach somebody to defend their students with a kick between the legs as the first thing they teach them? You think their students are going to last for a long time? You think that those martial arts schools are the schools that the police department is going to use or the army is going to use because it's of great value? The answer is no. And the reason that is because you're wrong, and your martial art teachers don't know or don't care to teach you that this stuff actually has a real value. If I was a street boxer and somebody throws a punch at me, the easiest thing I learn to do is how to parry. The low block first technique is just that. It's a parry, and then you counter strike with the same hand. And that counter strike could be everything from an elbow, a strike to the body, a strike to the groin, a strike to the knee. And there is so much woven into these forms, we're not going to have enough time to cover any of it. But my point is, this is why you ought to know Karate Kata. All right, so that is my master class for this morning. I wish you a happy day. We have a lot of different programming coming on our Zhang Sah live feeds, I think starting today. We have a preschool reading at 11. We have Sifu Chick and his Kung Fu class at noon. I'm back on at 6 with your kicks at 6. If you want to get a little workout in, feel free to join us. Again, please like the show if you're watching it. Send me your comments if you have something of value to share, and don't forget to support our fundraiser, and have a great Wednesday. Thank you much.